How did you make that transition? I know that your husband, Jeff, had more of a technical background, more traditional
Yeah.
pathway. But how was it that you came to change careers and join Jeff as co-owner of the business?
We were both working at the time in a different field. He wasn't an integrator at the time that we decided to start integration controls in 2004. And I had been a speech pathologist for 3 years, working solidly in the field in a nonprofit organization, putting in some pretty grueling hours. And if anyone's ever worked nonprofit, sometimes the payoff isn't always worth the time that you put in, but it's for the heart.
Right.
But I kind of burned myself out, honestly. I was so passionate, straight out of college, ready to be my best. And I kind of saw a lot of things and fizzled out a little too quickly that, made me take pause right around the time that my husband was feeling a similar way with his work. And he had been in the integration world and in automation before and said, let's start this company and would you want to join me? I thought I would kind of be part-time for a little while, kind of helping him build maybe some marketing materials, giving a female perspective to the organization. As you may have seen, you've seen a lot of tech companies over the years. There's different ways of approach. Some can be like really super techy and kind of geek out on it, and some can be a little more design centric. And that's really what we wanted to be. So, and then, as the time kind of went on, I actually felt I struggled keeping up with my CEUs to be a speech pathologist. And I felt like the more I dove into integration controls, the less interested I was in having two jobs. And so it was interesting at one CEDIA where I was, full time as an integrator at that point. But one CEDIA Expo I went to, I had really struggled with maintaining my licensure as a speech pathologist. There's a lot that goes into that for anybody who's ever gone there. It's a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a 9-month apprenticeship program, a very intense praxis exam. And, when you give it up, you have to redo a lot of that stuff potentially. So I was trying to keep my CEUs to maintain that. And I met someone who also was a woman in a Kaleidoscape booth at a CEDIA Expo. And she said she was a teacher. I think she was working there as kind of a side job for the expo as a relatively moderate booth babe. Not like the booth babes of 1990s, okay?
Yeah.
But she said something which I just found so interesting. She said, well, I'm a teacher, and if this is your career path, to thine own self be true. And it's funny, sometimes you get permission from strangers or even close or maybe not so close acquaintances that really give you that kind of, okay, I don't have to keep doing this just because I committed to it at one point in time. And it kind of was a freedom to say, okay, I'm officially walking away from that. How I dove into learning about what integration is and home technology in general was really through CEDIA and taking as many courses as I could at every expo along the way, and getting my hands dirty out in the field and pulling wire. I'm not one to just sell something because I know that I can, or go out there and promote something in an empty way. And I felt like I really needed the background knowledge. So I was an installer for a little while, probably not the best one, but my husband and our employees at the time were really patient with showing me what needed to be done. And through the CEDIA courses, I had learned a whole lot, and really just kind of being out there for 16 years, I feel has given me some of my technical chops, but there's always room for growth.
Residential technology, lighting specialist, architect,